You don't need motivation, you need discipline, you need pain. You need to wake up tired and still train, because the world doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects results. You don't need a hug, you don't need a break. What you need is to wake up from the pathetic delusion you're living in. You've convinced yourself that you're trying, that you're doing your best, that maybe success just takes time. No, that's the biggest lie you're telling yourself. You are not doing everything you could be doing. You're not close, and deep down you know it. You're not operating at 100%. You're not even close to 60%. You're dragging through life with this comfortable little routine, hiding behind words like mental health and overwhelm and I just need to figure things out. No, what you need is to admit that you're being weak and stop pretending it's okay to be average. I'm not saying this because I hate you. I'm saying this because I know what you're capable of. You think you're depressed? You think you're stuck? Try working 16 hours a day on a business no one believes in, training until your hands bleed, and still showing up like you're going to conquer the world. That's what I did. That's what real men do. We don't sit around hoping for a miracle. We create our own damn miracle, and we do it through pain, through silence, through grind, through discipline. Motivation is useless. It fades, it dies in the face of difficulty. But discipline, that's the weapon. That's the edge. That's what makes the difference between the man who builds an empire and the one who scrolls Instagram all day hoping life gets easier. Let me tell you something no one has the balls to say anymore. Life is war. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you're willing to bleed for. And most of you haven't suffered enough to earn anything real. You say you want to win, but your actions prove otherwise. You sleep in, you skip the workout, you don't take risks. You talk more than you act, you fantasize more than you execute, and then you wonder why you're still stuck. You've never gone to bed so exhausted you couldn't move. You've never looked in the mirror and asked, did I give it absolutely everything today? Because if you had, you'd already be winning. But here's the truth, and you need to hear it. It's not too late. I don't care how broken you feel. I don't care how behind you think you are. You still have breath in your lungs. And that means you have time to turn it all around. You have time to become dangerous, to become respected, to become a man of value, but that time is running out. Every hour you waste is one you'll never get back. There's no pause button. This is your one shot, your one life, and it's flipping through your fingers while you distract yourself with garbage. The moment you accept that no one is coming to save you is the moment your life begins. No one owes you anything, not your parents, not society, not the government, no one. If you want to rise, you rise through force, through work, through blood. And once you get that into your skull, once you stop crying and start building, you become unstoppable. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the smartest. It's about being the most relentless. The one who never backs down, the one who gets up again and again, no matter how many times life smashes him in the face. And don't get me wrong, it will smash you. Life will test you. It will beat you to your knees and laugh while you bleed. That's reality. But it's in those moments when you've got nothing left that the real man is born. Not in the easy times, not when things are going well, but in the pain, in the failure, in the silence, when no one claps for you. That's where greatness is forged. So if you're suffering right now, good. That means you're in the fire. That means you're being molded into something stronger, something ruthless, something unstoppable. So let this be the last day you lie to yourself. No more excuses, no more blame. No more waiting for the right time. The right time is now. This is your life, and you need to take control of it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. Become the man you were meant to be. Build the discipline, forge the mindset, master the body, dominate the world. Because if you don't, someone else will. And when they do, and they take everything that could have been yours, don't cry, don't complain. Just know that you chose comfort over greatness. You chose soft over strong. You chose easy over legacy. But if you're ready to fight, really fight, then good. Welcome to the war. Now get to work. People see me now and they think this life was handed to me. Fast cars, tailored suits, private jets, cash stacked higher than your hopes. They look at all of it and assume I was born lucky, that somehow I just stumbled into power. They don't see the years of suffering. The nights I went to bed starving. The days I worked with nothing in my pocket but belief. What they see is the result. What they ignore is the war it took to get here. Had no map, no rich daddy, no team holding my hand. I built everything from scratch, just a raw will to win and a refusal to quit. You think you're struggling? Good. That means you're on the path. But let me be very clear. Your struggle only becomes valuable when you decide you're done being weak. When I was broke, I didn't waste time crying. I talk often about the importance of trauma as a man. I think that if you were to find the most interesting or most capable men on the planet, they've had the most trauma-filled lives. I just think that trauma is what teaches you. We talked earlier about how you have to have lessons taught to you the hardest way. If you were to call a Navy SEAL and ask him to protect you going into a building full of assailants, you'd like to think that guy's been through some stuff. You'd like to see some scars, right? Lessons and trauma, and the more you go through, the better of a man you are. And if you were to find the best men on the planet, I guarantee they've been through a bunch of terrible things. And if you listen to podcasts from any of the most interesting people on the planet, usually they've had hard, terrible lives. And you can use that trauma to become a better person, or you can let that trauma consume you and destroy you. But I thank God for all of it, because it gave me endless power to become the person I am. The bad things that are happening to you are what you need to become the man that you want to be. When someone emails me and says, "This has happened to me," I'm like, good. No, what do you mean good? It's terrible. How else are you going to become important? How else are you going to find endless fire to get up and struggle in the face of the competition that's out here? How else you're going to do all that with a nice, cushy life? If any man's honest with himself, think about the biggest transformative stages in your life. Think about the times you got the most work done. It was a bad part of your life. If you have a duty to your bloodline and a duty to your ancestors, and you truly love your parents, how can you still be sitting at home playing video games being a lazy piece of shit? Don't you want people to remember them? Don't you want people to think, wow, who's this person who raised this amazing person?
Do you have something to prove?
I think everybody on the planet has something to prove. If you walk through life and feel like you have nothing to prove, then you're a fucking loser. If you wake up each day and go, I don't owe anybody anything, I don't have to prove anything to anybody, then you are a loser, because you are absolutely not incorrect. You must prove yourself to other people. You must prove yourself to your bloodline, as we just discussed. You must prove yourself to God. God hates the lazy. He can't stand them. If he gives you all these genetic dispositions and these natural God-given gifts, if you have 2 arms and 2 legs and you can think, and you're not trying your absolute best, that's the reason you're not lucky. He doesn't like you. He likes the people which show him the beauty of his own creation. He likes to give somebody building blocks and them to build something amazing. It's the best thing about being a man. You get to build who you are, right? You can decide if you want to be a funny comedian or a musician or a kickboxing world champion or fight the Matrix. You can decide whatever you want to be. God loves to see that. Those people, for some reason, seem to be enormously lucky, right? The person who goes, I don't have to prove anything to God. I don't owe all of my ancestors any effort. You know, for 5,000 years, people were dodging saber-toothed tigers and catching the plague and running from Genghis Khan just for my stupid ass to be born. I don't owe them anything. I don't owe them a thing, because I want to play video games. These people are fucking losers. You should walk through earth with force inside of you. As I walked into this hotel reception, everybody looked. Not because they know who I am, but because as I move, even if it's behind their head, people feel something and they go, it's an energy that comes from brutal competence. It's almost like an evolutionary thing where a rabbit can just smell a fox. It just knows. That's what happens when a predator walks in a room, even amongst humans. You pay attention next time you're in a restaurant. If a man who's truly dangerous walks in, nearly every other man kind of looks up at the same time. You feel it. You need to, or you don't survive. We've evolved with that to live. That's who I am. I couldn't imagine not being that man. I've done that because I've been trying to prove myself to my lineage my entire life. I wake up every day with something to prove. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. I wake up and think, fuck, more. I'm in fantastic shape, 4 times world champion. Fighting the Matrix out here by myself, more. I will have to be braver. I must try harder. All I do is prove myself. So when I hear people go, I don't have nothing to prove, then you're a fucking loser. Peasants have never felt like they needed to prove anything, but kings felt like they needed to go and conquer land. Isn't that it's coincidental that the king, who already had it all, felt like he needed to go to some far-flung land and conquer it and take it and prove he's the king. But the peasants, I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You're a fucking loser then. You're a dummy. I absolutely and utterly, completely have everything to prove to everybody all of the time. That's who I am. I will prove anything to anybody. If I sit and say X, I will prove it to anyone. I can be checked at any time. If someone would have come up to me in that lobby and argued with my ideas, I would have proved that my ideas are sound. If they would have attacked me, I would have destroyed them completely and absolutely. That's who I am.